guards and everything come on Morgan's campus unless they knew their degrees. That's how bad it was. Everybody knew who we were because we kept it tight. Because we loved the law. We loved this science. You feel me? And that's why I became God on earth. Because I loved the law. And I wanted to find out who he was. And the more I learned, the more the great divide got closer and closer until it became one. You know? It doesn't mean that, man, listen, for the first 10, 15 years, I had knowledge of self for 30 years. First 10, 15 years, I still got questions. But after that time, I started questioning. There's no more questions to be answered, to be asked. Because I can answer all my questions. See what I mean? And that's the thing too. When you first get knowledge, you better be able to answer all your own questions. Because if you can't answer all your own questions, then you got a problem. Because the same questions you ask yourself, somebody else can ask you.
Right. Because I was taught, like, you know, science like 120 is questions and answers of, you know, falling in Elijah, and that's another man's questions and another man's answers.
Indeed.
You know, so, you know, all right, and it says that these answers are very near correct. You know, but the questions are right and exact, but you just have to answer them for yourself.
Indeed.
All those questions you have to answer them for yourself. I mean, unless you're going to just be following another man's answer.
And sure you go. And that's why the importance of mathematics and alphabets, because when you get to 120, you got to decipher. Because when you're looking at the question and the answer, like you said, while the Father asked the question, Elijah answered the question. Okay? Now, look at your degrees and just look at the question. If you didn't have the answer, how would you answer that question? Your mathematics and alphabets teach you how to answer that question. See, there's so many different ways to break down 120 though. You know what I mean? You look at the number, you answer the question by the number alone. Then you look at the number and you look at the question. You answer the question. You answer the question just by the question alone, without the understanding that's already given. Then you got the understanding. You break down the understanding. You see what I mean? Remember, when I learned was knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and everything. You see what I mean? The knowledge, like I said, was the mind, you can't touch it. The wisdom, you can touch. I learned the wisdom, verbal, mental, your state of mind as mental, thoughts, physical, and material. That's your wisdom. Okay? So, from doing it those different ways, you always get the proper understanding. You got to look at both aspects, because certain things that you study don't apply to both aspects. It only applies to one, but you have to be able to build upon it to get into the other side too. How does that apply? Because when you read books like the Bible and the Quran and the Upanishad and all these other books, Hindu books and certain Chinese books, they're speaking of things in metaphorical terms. They're not speaking of just how it appears. You know, because Jesus spoke in parables. You feel me? So if you don't understand both sides of the coin, you only look at things the way he said it, and you take things on face value. But that's not how it's meant to be. That's why you have a mind. For thought. You know what I mean? Right. We are the intelligent thinking vehicles that are on this planet. We manifest the intelligent thought of consciousness around the planet. You know what I mean? My thoughts ain't just limited to what are inside of my body. They travel. You know what I mean? So if all of us are in a room, or if all of us are in a place and all of our thoughts are traveling because we're all thinking, what kind of world do we create, God? That's why the world's so fucked up now. See what I mean? So we got to change the mental thoughts by building. Even when you're walking down the street, if you build it, you're sending off the proper vibe. You see what I mean? That's why you're supposed to deal with your degrees each and every day.
INFMEGA did this.